I have the honor of introducing our next presenter. We have Heimuli, who is our Oahu Outreach Associate for the Division of Forestry and Wildlife. She's going to be sharing with us some time-saving and engaging tools that they've used for some digital outreach that they've been doing lately. So, Pua, you have the option to share your screen and take it away.
All right, mahalo. Here we go. Okay, can you folks see that? Okay, so mahalo for having me talk about some of the digital outreach tools that we've been working with. I came into this position in February of last year, and for a month, I thought I knew what outreach was and how to do it. And then the pandemic hit and everything shifted into digital outreach. So I think we've all had to learn a lot of adjusting during this time. So this presentation is just to tell you like what I'll just be sharing the tools that we've been using. It's an overview and it's not meant to be a tutorial at all. There are plenty of tutorials on YouTube and the different platforms that you use. They'll have tutorials usually. So take a look at those. Let's see, anything else? Many of you have already been using these tools. So this is just how we've been using them here at DOFA and especially at Oahu branch. Just a note before we get started into the presentation. We're not endorsing, because I work for the state, we're not endorsing any of these products. We do use them, and this is merely to show you how we're using these products. Okay. So to start off, I wanted to talk about Canva and all of the features that we use. Canva is a graphic design platform that allows you to easily create just a whole plethora of products and using their professionally designed templates. So it's basically like having a basic version of Photoshop or InDesign that doesn't need a lot of photo editing knowledge to use. I have used InDesign and still do, but Canva I found was very intuitive and easy to use. So this is the platform that many content creators use. And so because we're outreach folks, among all of the things that we do, content creation is one of the biggest things we do, especially in this time. So this is just the home screen, a picture of the home screen. It looks like many of you are probably familiar with this home screen, but it has all your designs, all the templates, everything you need here in your home screen. So the first thing that I wanted to share about Canva and how we're using it is especially for social media. There are a lot of social media templates that we're using for our social media posts, and templates have the different sizes as well. They're already pre-created. There's also templates that give you different layout designs, and you can pick and choose what you want to use for your social media posts to make them interesting, attractive. And so these are just a few examples of how we use them in social media. It's really nice that we can actually put text in our images, especially for Instagram and for Facebook, and make your photos have those texts as well, that folks can just look at that image instead of always having to scroll to caption to see what you want to say. So these are just a few examples that we've used over our time with social media posts. We've also used them for stories and reels. If you're familiar with the IG, with the Instagram, you'll see that stories and reels are really ways to engage your community, the community that you build on Instagram, and also on Facebook as well. Facebook does have that stories feature. So creating stories that are visually engaging and also having that text, um, so folks can just read on your images, is what Canva does a very good job at, with all kinds of design elements and different frames that you can put your pictures in. So there's also a Reels feature where you can create Reels in Canva for posting later to your IG networks. Okay. Some other templates that I'll go through, logos. When we built our Oahu branch, Instagram and Facebook, just getting the branding elements together, elements that make things look consistent on your social media platforms. We used Canva to really get our logo going, and also later on our IG highlight covers. So when you look in our profile pages, you'll be able to see that we have all of our branding elements there that make everything consistent. So when folks click on our profile, click on our platforms, they know just by the color schemes and all of that, they're looking at a DOFA page. Okay, presentations. Yep, I made this presentation in Canva. I also have been making presentations for different virtual presentations like career fairs, after school presentations for their after school programs, presentations that are just visually capture what I'm trying to relay over the screen. And so Canva has a lot of these presentation templates that I encourage you folks to look through and use. What's really nice about Canva is it does have that drag and drop feature, so you can use a lot of your own pictures to drag and drop into the templates that are already pre-made. Yeah, the next one is infographics. If you folks aren't using infographics yet, to make your numbers more appealing, especially to your teams, you know, if you want to give them just an overview of what's been happening and update, you can do it through infographics and make it look really nice and engaging so that they don't just scroll through the email. You'll have more looks on it, more time looking at your numbers. Another template that we've been using, and pretty much with even our program managers, is our info flyers and 2-pagers. Info flyers I've been giving out to different presentations, especially our virtual career fairs. I've made some info flyers that we can just pop the PDFs into the chat, and then those folks can have all of the resources that we offer. Also, we have our infographics there on top of our legislative outreach 2-pagers. And what's nice is Josh Atwood, who's my supervisor, he made these templates in Canva. And so anybody who has, and he could send this template to anybody who has a Canva account, they can input all of their data and then make a really nice 2-pager that's consistent among all of the different programs, and drag and drop their information and really beautiful pictures. So this has been a really good tool as well to have for those. Next one is digital swag. We love giving our swag, but because we went virtual, things went digital, including the swag that we've been giving. And that just means that our Zoom backgrounds we've been creating some phone backgrounds, and then also some desktop backgrounds as well to give out to the presentations that we go to and just have up on our website. So if people want to download them and use them, they can. It has all of our branding elements on there too, our logos and our looks. look pretty consistent. So even if say the EEV one in the middle there, Josh made these in different Adobe, Adobe Creative Cloud software, but then you can also bring those elements in and use them in Canva to repurpose them into the different backgrounds and digital swag that you want to present to folks. So that's been a really fun thing that we've been making with these Canva templates. Now I'm going to switch to some pro features that we use. These are just added features if you purchase the pro version. And I absolutely love resize for the different posts because there's different sizes for the different platforms that you use. IG story, the IG posts, and the Facebook posts are all different sizes. So if you want a consistent look but need to resize, the resize feature is for you. There's also a lot more stock images, a lot more stock video and audio that you can use with Canva. One thing to note for the stock images and video and all of these stock things is that it's okay to use these stock images in your designs. You just can't really use them as a standalone if it's going on your website or anything like that. And I would check the permissions on the audio first. I haven't been using too much of the audio, so I'm not sure of the permissions yet for that, but the images and the video we've been using. Background remover is one of the features that I've been using recently for our digital swag. And it's just to bring out these focal points of pictures that you have from the background and use them in your different products. And so you can erase and restore different things as well in this background remover. And then another thing that I've done a lot of research on the Instagram, looking at different content creator reels. And one of the things that I found is that you can make your own stickers. So if you folks are familiar with making your IG stories, there's a lot of different GIFs and stickers that you can use to put into your stories to make them interesting. Why not make your own? And you can do that with Canva. There's the different transparent PNGs that you click on. There's also some really nice curved text as well, feature that you can use. So I just made these very quickly and may just use them starting in April for Native Hawaiian Plant Month. So just some ideas, feel free to take it. But yeah, stickers, IG stickers, you can make your own. And then some other things, did you know that Canva offers? If you search in your favorite search engine, Canva font combinations, you'll find that there's some font combinations that are engaging, that makes highlights your headings, and then finding fonts that complement your paragraphs as well in maybe your newsletters or emails, in your different products. So search engine, Canva font combinations, if you're looking for some of that. And then another thing, the last thing that I wanted to show as a Canva Pro feature is the SVG. You can save your designs as an SVG to vectorize your logos. And so if you're not familiar with vector graphics keep all the detail and quality of your image when you resize. So you can easily vectorize your designs in Canva by saving as SVG. Okay. And so that was a lot of Canva, but we have been using this, especially me, quite often to make a lot of these outreach products. So I'm gonna switch gears now into some social media tools that we've been working with. So social media, at least for us at DOFA, we've been, we've started an Oahu branch DOFA social media page with Facebook and Instagram. If you're not following us yet, we're at Oahu DOFA. That's our handle. Anyway, the way it works for us is we have multiple content creators, and that's folks from the branch that are in the different programs like wildlife, forestry, and the NEPAM program. And they're creating the content because that's a full-time job. And you know, as outreach people, that we have plenty of things that we have to do, and plenty different things. So the way to keep all of this organized, we've been using Hootsuite. Hootsuite is a, well, it's a social media management tool. And we've been able to use this to create the posts and also schedule them, and then see what the engagement is during the times that it's been posted. And so this has been really good for folks that are creating the content to schedule it for later on, especially if you want to batch posts, meaning if you want to make a whole bunch of posts maybe one day and then schedule them out throughout the month. Hootsuite has been the way that we've been doing it. But there are other social media management tools for scheduling. There's another one called Later. Others might be familiar with it, but this is the one that we use. Another social media tool we've been using is Linktree. Many of you are familiar with BioLink tools. This is our BioLink tool that we use. Linktree is the most used, and it's also the earliest to come out. So you put your BioLink into your bio, and then it takes you to all the links, your recent links that you have. So Linktree has worked really well for us to just get people to our information. Any kind of education that we're doing on our posts, we want to make sure they can get more information, because the information that you're giving on your social media is pretty condensed. So if they want to find out more, got to send them a link. Yep. And then also, for those of you who are playing the hashtag game, there are a couple of things that I've seen while doing research on the reels of content creators. And two of them came up that I thought were pretty good. Graph tag is one of them. And another one is called display purposes. And these two, they're just sites that analyze the metrics of engagement around these hashtags. And if you're going to use hashtags and want to make them maybe more discoverable, maybe try out these tools to put some popular hashtags onto that's relevant to your post. Okay. And so that's it for our social media tools. And now I just want to jump to another thing that we've been diving into. Not so much me, but our team here in the I&E section, Josh Atwood. And then I also want to give a shout out to Carrie Rouse. She was our Kupo member who recently left us, but she also had a lot of mana'o to, and also a lot of, she really helped out and dove into this kind of virtual tour stuff. So first off, I wanted to show Google Earth. What's nice about these virtual tours is that they're asynchronous, meaning that your website users can just go to these different places to look and see what's happening in these different areas, especially for DOFA in these managed areas that maybe they can't physically get to. So Google Earth is one of the platforms that have virtual tours. Um, and hold on. Okay, here we go. Okay, so Google Earth, um, it is a place for folks to see the different points along the trail. You can download on top of your smartphone, you can download an app that allows you to take 360, what is it, photospheres. And so you can create this Google tour based on the photospheres that are in your Google Earth platform. And then folks can go through and see the information that you're giving and also look through the photospheres with a 360 view. That's how I understand it. Josh Atwood has been doing a lot more, and he actually created this one for Kaena. So this is just briefly, I haven't been too much diving in too much with this, but this is possible. Google Earth is a place where lots of folks are gravitating to and seeing all of these places that you can offer. Okay, and another thing that we're using is map tours. We've been using map tours to do some ledge outreach. And this is a great way to see the map of where all these different places are. And then also giving that multimedia experience of pictures and then also adding some videos into this. I think this is an Esri product. So there's map tours. We use this for our ledge outreach. And then we also, many of you are familiar with the HISC map tour that went down. This was really nice because this is like a statewide story that we were able to tell. And I think a lot of people contributed to this one. And I think it came out really awesome. So this is just a way to tell these visual stories through this Esri product. We also have story maps that we've been using. Many of you are probably familiar with story maps, but these are going on our websites now, and just gives them a really visually appealing, interesting story of our management areas and also the information that we wanted to give as well. So these are just some of the things that we're using as sort of virtual tours for web users to go to and for the public to access. So yeah, that's just the overview there. And I think I've almost run out of time. So these are a list of the resources that if you haven't learned or if you haven't heard of yet, you can go to them, screenshot it real fast or take a picture of this slide. And I'm Pua. I'm the Oahu outreach person for DOFA, and that's my contact information. So I'll take questions now. So thank you.
Mahalo, Pua. This is so awesome. I love seeing all these sort of things that people can be using, and I'm excited to try some of these new things that we have not been using, or that I have not been using at least. I think one question, I think Halen had asked, if you can, let me pull that up. Does Hootsuite allow carousel postings if it's pre-scheduled? Do you happen to know?
Well, if you're, no, not if it's scheduled. The thing about Hootsuite, even with the paid version, is that unless it's just one image, they will, if you have multiple images, then they will just send you a notification through the app on your phone. And then you have to look at the notification and then post it yourself. That's the only thing about Hootsuite. That's kind of a bummer, especially when you want to upload those multiple images. So yeah, I was trying to find a way to get around it. Even the paid version, you have to do that still. So Little bit of a bummer, but that's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing so I can see both.
Yeah.
All right.
And then I think another, just a comment or question that got brought up, I was thinking, I know with Canva, I think you folks, I'm guessing, have a pro account with Canva, which costs money. And so I think people were wondering if these tools that you're talking about today, if they are, if you have to pay for them, or, are they free or things like that? Do you have any?
Yeah, you can. I have to say, you can do a lot with the free version of Canva. There's just the features that make some things more convenient than others, like the resize, and then there's also this a lot more stock images to use with Canva Pro. But I say, try out Canva first if you folks are looking for a formatting software that, yeah, I say just try the free version out first and see if you even like it, especially those who are used to the InDesign and the Adobe suite, the Adobe Creative Cloud products. Try Canva out, see how you like it compared. But
yeah. And I think we were looking into getting a pro account. And I think if you guys are interested, I believe the pro account is $120 a year. And then I think for Hootsuite, we paid like, I don't know, $300 maybe a year. And then the Linktree was about $60 a year. So they do cost. The Hootsuite was obviously the most expensive for us, but we use it as well. So it's been pretty useful for scheduling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see all the other messages. I
Kim
think everyone.
raised her hand.
Hey, real quick,
Okay.
on the Canva topic, there is, I wanted to share that actually, if you are a part of a nonprofit, you can apply to get the Canva Pro account for free. So, and I think you can have up to like, it's either 5 or 10 people on that pro account. So if you have access or you're working under a nonprofit, you may quite likely be able to get that pro account for free.
Right on.
Thank you, Kim.
I say if you're gonna try for that, or I just say make the investment. Yeah.
I second.
Yeah, definitely. I just give it a try, and if you like it, then purchase it. So if there's no more questions, we'll pull up our Mentimeter